Good afternoon. I'm Paul Kearns, the director of Argonne National Laboratory. We're excited to welcome those of you here in the auditorium, but also to welcome those that are joining us by live stream. Here at the lab, we have several dignitaries. We have Secretary Rick Perry. Secretary Perry's here, please. We have Congressman Lipinski has joined us as well. Congressman, welcome. Thank you. President Zimmer from the University of Chicago is here. We have representatives from Congressman Foster's staff and representatives from Senator Duckworth and Durbin's offices. Now, if the Chicago traffic permits, Senator Durbin hopes to join us before we conclude our program. So in a few minutes, you'll hear from these leaders about the impact of Aurora on our community, our region, our nation, and the world. Today, you'll hear about Aurora, the nation's first exascale computing system, which is built for AI. Imagine a computer so powerful that it can predict future climate patterns, saving millions of people from drought, floods, and devastation. A computer so powerful that it can simulate every activity of a cancer cell at the subatomic level with such accuracy that we can effectively cure it, or create a personalized treatment just for you. A computer so powerful that it can map all the connections in the human brain, leading to reversal of traumatic brain injury or cure Alzheimer's. Imagine a computer so powerful that it can help solve the riddle of dark matter and what the universe is made of. This type of computing power is not the stuff of science fiction. We're on the cusp of achieving it today with the breakthrough of exascale computing. Together with the U.S. Department of Energy, Argonne is pleased to be collaborating with industry leaders Intel and Cray to build Aurora, the nation's first exascale-class computing system. Aurora, when completed in 2021, will usher in a new generation of computing power in the United States. We are here today to celebrate this historic public-private partnership. Argonne's Aurora is built for next-generation artificial intelligence. Combining AI with high-performance computing will accelerate scientific discoveries to real-world problems, such as improving extreme weather forecasting, advancing medical treatments, mapping the human brain, developing new materials, and furthering our understanding of the universe. And honestly, that's just the beginning. Aurora will be able to perform a billion calculations per second. Yes, a billion calculations per second. It will be a major force driving U.S. leadership in advanced scientific computing, which is really key to our economic prosperity and our national security. Aurora will live here at the Argonne Leadership Computing Facility, a Department of Energy user facility. A state-of-the-art building is under construction to house this project right here on campus, not too far from the heart of Chicago. Aurora will bring tremendous impact to the research community. It will empower scientists to pursue some of the farthest-reaching science and engineering breakthroughs ever imagined. We welcome the business community and the economic opportunities it will bring to our metropolitan area. Our nation benefits significantly from collaborations such as the one being discussed today. I want to thank the Department of Energy and our critically important industry partners, Intel and Cray, for their leadership and innovation. I would also like to thank our colleagues from the University of Chicago for their ongoing guidance and support. They've been instrumental in making this day possible. Now I'd like to introduce my colleague, Bob Zimmer, President of the University of Chicago and Chairman of the Argonne Board of Governors. Bob?
Thank you very much, Paul. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure for me to add my welcome to that expressed by Paul Kearns to those who are here today. Of course, our colleagues from the Department of Energy, and in particular Secretary Perry, congressional delegation, and leaders from Intel and Cray. I'd also like to welcome and express my appreciation to colleagues from Argonne and the University of Chicago who are here, and indeed researchers from around the country and the world who are connected to this extraordinary Aurora project. As Paul indicated, this is an extremely important and pivotal moment for U.S. science and technology development as the Aurora project is given robust life through the agreement between the Department of Energy and Intel. Argonne's long been a leader in high-performance computing, a capacity that gives scientists and engineers, and those in the private sector, the most advanced tools to confront a wide array of the most challenging problems. And while the importance of high-performance computing has long been recognized, we see more than ever the extraordinary possibilities for advances in science and business with critical impact on national security, human health, and the quality of human life and economic development. And of course, Paul indicated some of the specific areas in which this might occur. The investment that the Department of Energy is making in this project is absolutely essential, as is this partnership with Intel. Now, it's fitting that a pivotal moment such as this take place at Argonne. Argonne was the first of the national labs to be established in 1946 as a direct outgrowth of the work of Enrico Fermi and his colleagues at the University of Chicago on the Manhattan Project. Now, it's well known that Fermi was a master of a key computational tool of the time, namely the slide rule. And it is tantalizing to think what he could do with the computers now at Argonne and those being developed. One critical attribute of Argonne is the array of scientists from around the world who come to use its unique infrastructure for scientific and technological advancement. As reflects Argonne's origins, the University of Chicago has operated Argonne under contract with the United States government since its founding, and for many years now through the U.S. Department of Energy. We take great pride in the stewardship of the lab as a critical national resource and in the work that Argonne scientists and engineers do in collaboration with their colleagues at the University of Chicago. These partnerships in computation, its applications, in new directions in engineering and beyond have developed dramatically in recent years, a pace we hope to see continue and in fact accelerate. Those of us who have been connected to Argonne for many years, and I personally became involved with Argonne now over 20 years ago, everyone knows just how important a Secretary of Energy is to the nation's entire science and technology agenda. So it is a great honor and a privilege for me to introduce the current Secretary, Rick Perry, who has been such an effective champion for the Department of Energy, for the national labs, and the nation's critical science and technology work. Rick Perry is the 14th United States Secretary of Energy. He leads an agency tasked with maintaining a safe, secure, and effective nuclear deterrent, reducing the threat of nuclear proliferation, overseeing the United States energy supply, carrying out the environmental cleanup from the Cold War nuclear mission, managing 17 national laboratories, a home to many of the country's leading scientists and engineers, and providing critical scientific infrastructure for scientists at labs, universities, and industry around the country. He is widely recognized as being extremely effective in overseeing and advancing this complex array of responsibilities. Before he was Secretary of Energy, Secretary Perry was a farmer and a rancher, a veteran of the United States Air Force, and the longest-serving governor in Texas history. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Rick Perry.
Dr. Zimmer, thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be here. I was just thinking, had I had I had an opportunity to spend time with Dr. Fermi, maybe I would have been a little better with the slide rule. And then organic chemistry wouldn't have been what changed my career. I was going to be a veterinarian, Rick. I shared that with you, and they explained to me one day, no, you're really not going to be a veterinarian. We're looking at your grades, young man, and we have a place for you in the animal science department. So life is always full of interesting turns and what have you. So one of them, the turns in my life, is this great privilege to work with some of the most fascinating men and women in America and in the world who are at our national lab. So in conjunction with our universities, partners, and our private sector. Bob Swan, who's here with the Intel folks, and Pete Ungaro, who is representing Cray. I want to thank them for their incredible work that they have collectively put on display here, and actually the reason we're here today. So to each of you, thank you for your great work. I know Senator Durbin is hopefully en route, and the good Dr. Lipinski is here, our congressman. Thank you, sir, for coming and being with us. And I know that Chairman Bobby Rush and Bill Foster, their spirits and hearts are with us today as we do this as well. When I came and toured this lab the first time, Congressman Foster was with me, and they are great proponents, cheerleaders, if you will, for the national labs here in the Chicago area. And I cannot tell you how amazed I am as I get to travel across the country and around the world, and I see the great things that America does with her private sector. And today is one of those celebrations of a public-private partnership which is going to advance America's exascale computing capacity to the next level. When we talk about doing a billion a second, I mean, it for us, just mere mortals, it becomes incredibly. Then it kind of dawns on you just where we are, what we're doing, what we're on the cusp of being able to accomplish. And today, residing in our national labs are two of the most powerful computers in the world, 5 of the 10 fastest, most powerful computers in the world. And each day that these supercomputers are being used to make advances in basic science and innovation in areas ranging from energy to material science to medicine to our national security. That includes Mira and Theta that reside right here at Argonne. I think they're 21st and 24th in the pecking order. This is an incredibly competitive field. This business of supercomputing is not for the meek. It's not for someone who's satisfied with the status quo. And it's a competitive field that we cannot fall behind in. That's why we have committed to building 3 new exascale machines, which will be 10 to 20 times faster than the fastest machines that are operating today. The first one we're going to build, come on in here, Senator. You should have heard them cheering for you, making your way through Chicago traffic, sir. They knew you were working it. God bless you. The first one that we're going to build is Aurora. Now, Aurora is special to me, and nobody knew this before we were coming in. As a matter of fact, somebody noticed my tie and said, "That's a really cool tie you got on." And I wore this for the namesake, I'm saying, of this computer my three-legged black lab named Aurora Pancake. So I got to think that's why this was chosen. We expect this to come online, as Sam shared with you, by 2021 through the efforts of our colleagues here at the lab, our partners at Intel and at Cray. These exascale machines will also be an essential aspect of our efforts on artificial intelligence. And the Congressman and I both have a very, very focused and intense desire to see this country continue to lead in artificial intelligence. That's why I recently created a cross-cutting AI program within the department to better coordinate our efforts over a wide range of issues. We're already leveraging our AI insights to optimize grid security and resiliency, increase energy efficiency in our homes and businesses, and to strengthen our infrastructure and ensure that our nuclear deterrent is safe and effective. We're also using AI to improve treatments for everything from cancer to traumatic brain injuries. And I was sharing with Dr. Zimmer that some of the most fascinating things in places that you would never, or regular folk wouldn't necessarily know, that the Department of Energy is involved with brain science, literally giving people their lives back, saving lives because of technology that we're developing because of our supercomputers, working in conjunction with partners on the brain science side of things. And there's just a lot more that we are going to be able to do. We're in the battle of opioid addiction and using these computers as our tool. And we're going to do more. We're determined to do more. Working with our partners from the private sector, our friends in Congress, we will use exascale computing and AI to accelerate discovery, spur ingenuity, drive innovation, and above all, we will impact all of those areas in ways that just a few years ago we couldn't have realized that we were going to have the ability to do. So these two technologies have the potential to transform every aspect of our world, and together we have the power to make this a better world. When you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you go, am I making a difference? Folks at this lab, folks at those 16 other national labs across this country don't have to worry about the answer to that. You are making a profound impact in the world, and the people of this world, we're grateful for it. Thank you.
Oh, very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. Certainly inspiring comments. Senator Durbin, please, may I call you to the podium? An opportunity to say a few words. So we appreciate your extra effort to get here. Thank you.
Thank you. I know the Secretary has to leave in a few minutes to go give Aurora Pancake a walk or something in Washington, and we're just honored that you're here. Thank you for coming. We're so proud of this operation at Argonne and also what we're announcing today. And I want to thank you on behalf of all of us for what you do at the Department of Energy. My colleague, Dan Lipinski, is here, to Intel Cray, the University of Chicago. You know, I'm a liberal arts lawyer, so I'm quickly lost when you get anywhere beyond political science. And I went to Francis Collins at the National Institutes of Health a few years ago, and I said, all right, I think you do great things here. What can I do to help? There was a moment in history not that long ago when two senators, Arlen Specter of Pennsylvania, Tom Harkin of Iowa, two different parties, joined up with a Congressman, John Porter, Republican from the North Shore, and decided to double the budget for the NIH, and they did it. They damn well did it. I wish I could promise the same thing, but I can't. What can I do? And he said to me, what you can do, he said, is to give us real growth, consistent real growth in research. If you can give us 5% real growth a year, we'll light up the scoreboard. We have a lot of things going. We want our researchers to stick with them, find solutions. Well, I'm in the minority in the Senate. The key person for this is Roy Blunt, who's the Republican senator from Missouri. So I went to Roy, and he said he liked the idea. Then I did a dirty trick. I went down to Barnes Hospital in Washington University in St. Louis and said, would you call Roy and tell him what a great idea this is? And they did, and we got our first year 5% real growth at NIH. All of a sudden, Lamar Alexander and Patty Murray were part of our team. We had a pretty good group working. Well, the net result of it, I can tell you, has been 4 straight years of 5% real growth. And that means a gross increase of 30% in the last 4 years at the National Institutes of Health. And I think we're seeing the results. During that period of time, it was under the Obama presidency, I went over to the Energy Department and had breakfast with Ernest Moniz. And I like him and respect him very much. And I told him the Francis Collins story. And I said, we really think we're on the cusp of finding things like maybe, God willing, some way to delay the onset of Alzheimer's, maybe even a cure. And I said, you know, we want to move in that direction. And he listened and he listened and he said, do you know who's developing the technology that they're going to use to determine what's working in the brain and what isn't? And I said, what would that be, Mr. Secretary? He said, that would be the Office of Science here at the Department of Energy. And it dawned on me that if you're committed to research, it's great to start with medical research, but you can't stop there. So I introduced the Innovation Act and said, let's do the same thing, 5% real growth. Let's do it in the Office of Science, Department of Energy. Let's do it at NASA. Let's do it at NIST. Let's do it at the National Science Foundation. And it's a modest increase in the overall federal budget, which has dramatic impact. We haven't been quite as consistent when it comes to the Office of Science, but we've had 5% real growth in the last 4 years 3 times. So we're moving in the right direction with a commitment from Congress to research. Now there's a new budget, and I won't ask the Secretary to comment on it, but some proposals in that budget which some of us believe we have to modify, and hopefully modify in a significant way. At the end of the day, what we're setting out to do is to make sure that the next generation has a fighting chance, that some of the things the Secretary mentioned become a reality. It's interesting to note that this summer is the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. That's no stranger to the scientists at Argonne who pioneered a technique to analyze the moon's surface during the Apollo 11 mission. The technical challenges to land a person safely on the moon at a time when instant access to a world of knowledge was not at our fingertips is difficult to imagine today. Computers served a fundamental role 50 years ago on Apollo 11, despite the fact that the computers used for that mission are considered archaic by today's standards. In order to prepare for and successfully deploy this mission, President Kennedy requested from Congress in 1961 a firm commitment to research and science funding. Those funds allocated to the moonshot goal formed the basis for modern-day computing that we're celebrating with Aurora. At the time of the Apollo 11 mission, the computers that were used to make independent computations and maintain communication between Earth and lunar landers cost $3.5 million apiece and were the size of a car. Fast forward 50 years, and the devices most people have that fits in our pockets have computational speeds more than 100 million times faster than the Apollo 11 computers. This rapid progress has been made possible due to federal investment in research and technology, and some of the best and brightest minds in the world, and many are assembled in this room today. I say that because when we dream big things, we have to plan and commit. We can't have our ups and downs, peaks and valleys, or our research just doesn't result in the kinds of things that America is demanding and the world expects from a great nation like the United States. The Aurora project, the exascale computer, is a step in that direction. It's an honor to be with you today.
Thank you very much, Senator Durbin. We certainly appreciate your being a champion for Argonne and for science more broadly. So thank you for your remarks and being here today. Next up is Congressman Dan Lipinski. Dan, please.
Well, I want to welcome all our guests here today, especially Secretary Perry. Welcome almost to the Illinois 3rd Congressional District. We are about 1,000 feet away from it. My phone tells me it's 1,000 feet that way is the 3rd District, so I have most of Argonne, well, much of Argonne, but not exactly here today. But I always love coming here. I always love visiting with Director Kearns. It's to see what's going on here and the really paradigm-shifting research that goes on here at Argonne is just really exciting to see. It's been 7 decades now that Argonne has been at the cutting edge, really, of computation capability. And I have to say, since slide rules have been mentioned, back in 1982, when I was taking physics in high school, I had a teacher who did not let us use one of those little calculators. We had to use a slide rule. So I can't really say that I learned how to use it, but I got really good at longhand multiplication and division. But what's going on here and what the United States is doing is critical to our future. Fortunately, we have really focused on developing advanced supercomputers. As a senior member of the House Science, Space, and Technology Committee, I certainly have done what I can to make it a priority. Last year, I helped lead the Department of Energy Research and Innovation Act, which we got passed, which is putting a priority on this research and has said that we will have at least 2 exascale supercomputers. Now, I'm an engineer, and engineers are all about solving problems. That's what engineering is. But I'm a mechanical engineer, so I cannot explain to you anything about how Aurora really works. All of you out there know much better than I do. But I do understand that in order to solve some of the problems that we're facing, to cure illnesses, as Director Kearns was talking about, to model climate change, and to make advances in artificial intelligence, we need to have the most powerful computers in the world. I'm about to introduce a bill to help us push us forward in AI. Because as Secretary Perry and I were talking about, we need to be the nation that is the lead on artificial intelligence. So I'm introducing a bill to plan to increase, to make sure we're coordinating across all the departments and agencies of the federal government, coordinating the research and development on AI and to provide the necessary resources to do this. Argonne will help do this. Argonne will help lead on this. Argonne will be the lead in making advances in AI. So that is what Aurora is going to allow us to do. And while problem solving is the most important part, it'd be nice to have the bragging rights. I know that there's I know China's talking about 2020 exascale computer. We're talking about Aurora in 2021. Be nice to be number one and get there first. So thank you for all the work that you do. In working together, we will get there. We will do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Congressman Lipinski. 2021, we've got it down. So I'm happy to introduce the CEO of Intel Corporation, Bob Swan. Bob, please.
Good afternoon. Secretary Perry, Senator Durbin, Congressman Lipinski, President Zimmer, and distinguished guests. It's an honor for me to be here on behalf of 107,000 Intel employees around the world who wake up every day trying to advance compute technologies and the impact that they can have on the world. Today is a very important day, not only for the technologists and scientists who've come together to celebrate the building of America's first exascale computer, but for the nation. Today marks a defining moment of our ongoing commitment to foster scientific innovation and advance the United States technology leadership. It's also a great day to recognize the value of continued investment in U.S. manufacturing, advanced technology, and R&D, which fuels not only economic growth, but sustainable competitive advantage. At Intel, we're very excited and honored that a new Intel platform designed specifically for the convergence of artificial intelligence and high-performance computing at extreme scale will serve as the foundation of the Aurora exascale system. Thank you for the incredible opportunity to apply our technology in service of your important research. It's great to once again collaborate in pushing the technical envelope of high-performance computing. A highlight of our journey together was 1996, when Intel partnered with the Department of Energy to build the first supercomputer able to hit a teraflop of computing performance. It was called ASCII-Red, in reference to DOE's Accelerated Strategic Computing Initiative, and it was the #1 supercomputer system in its day. Today marks another exciting milestone in partnership with the DOE, the formal commissioning plans for Aurora, the United States' first exascale machine to drive breakthrough science and innovation at unprecedented scale. A system like this is a great example of what is possible when the capabilities of private companies and government come together. As a leader in high-tech design and manufacturing, we make significant and strategic investments in order to advance the next era of data-centric computing. Last year alone, we invested a combination of $25 billion in R&D and capital expenditures. We operate two of the most advanced semiconductor manufacturing facilities in the world here in the US, where thousands of employees make ever more capable microprocessors power our digital world. The Department of Energy and Argonne National Laboratory are uniquely able to apply the computing power Intel creates toward breakthrough discoveries. With their access to significant data sets and talented scientists, Argonne can use Aurora to push the frontiers of high-performance computing and artificial intelligence. Indeed, the Aurora system is a perfect example of technology that can help solve our biggest global challenges. Today's supercomputers have already led to better detection of diseases, new drug discoveries, invention of new materials, modeling and predicting weather patterns, and space discovery. An exascale computer will take these possibilities to new heights. The Aurora system's exaflop performance will be equal to a quintillion computations per second, or as I learned today, a billion billion. It's hard to imagine what that means, so let me put it into context. That's over 1 million times faster than today's high-end desktop computers. Coincidentally, it's also 1 million times faster than the ASCII-Red supercomputer, which is a great testament to the incredible power of Moore's Law. What's exciting about Aurora is that it's designed not only for sustained exascale performance, but also the flexibility to handle the workloads of both today and tomorrow. More specifically, the convergence of traditional high-performance computing and artificial intelligence. With its unique design, The Aurora system will provide researchers brand new tools to tackle scientific problems at unprecedented scale. It will give them the computing power they need for data-driven discoveries in areas like molecular modeling to find new sources of energy, or precision medicine to better predict the onset of diseases and deliver personalized treatments. I'm proud to say that at the heart of all these discoveries will be future generations of Intel technologies, like our Intel Xeon scalable processors, Intel Optane DC persistent memory, and technology architected for high-performance computing and artificial intelligence workloads. Intel technologies are ready to power the future of scientific discovery at scale. On behalf of the Intel team, I want to thank you for this fantastic opportunity. We're looking forward to seeing the breakthrough discovery that you all can achieve with our technology. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Bob. Looking forward to really working with Intel and Cray to deliver Aurora. And next up, we have Pete Ungaro from Cray, please.
Thanks, Paul. And I'd also like to thank Secretary Perry, Senator Durbin, Congressman Lipinski, President Zimmer, and all of our distinguished guests with us today. We, of course, are very excited for today's announcement for Argonne and the Department of Energy in their pursuit to advance science and enable ongoing research and lasting technical leadership for the country. At Cray, we are grateful to have been chosen to partner with Intel on the delivery of Aurora, which would be the first U.S. exascale supercomputer, and are very proud to say that this system will be built just 300 miles away from us in a Cray facility in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. So it's a great day for U.S. manufacturing also. Senator Durbin could probably tell you that it's quicker to get to Chippewa Falls than across Chicago these days. So we're close by. To be standing here and getting to be part of announcing an exascale system with one of the leading scientific laboratories in the world and with the Secretary of Energy is just beyond words. It's an amazing example of the power of dreaming big and not giving up on your goals and partnering with visionaries to get there together. Since others today have spoken so well about the what and the why, I'll spend a minute on the how, as this is a milestone in supercomputing that our entire industry has been anxiously awaiting for a long time now. I can remember back nearly 10 years ago when we started talking about what's the next generation architecture that would be needed for exascale. What it would need to look like to handle the workloads in that time horizon. And we partnered together to understand system architectures, software ecosystems, design approaches that would be needed for this. And through this collaboration and your trust in sharing your vision for this new era with us, we've come to what we've codenamed Shasta, which is a new exascale-class supercomputing architecture built for the extreme data-intensive computing that the Aurora system will perform. When we started our journey in designing Shasta, we recognized we'd have to take a new data-centric approach in the design of the architecture to support the converged use of artificial intelligence and analytics with modeling and simulation in these exascale workloads that were coming at us. This started with a view that the compute and cabinet architecture would have to be highly flexible and future-proof so we can upgrade it to new technologies over time. Next, we had to deliver a software stack that could evolve as exascale-class workloads matured. As a result, the Shasta software stack will be both modular and extensible and deliver a single interface for application development at scale while integrating Intel and Argonne technologies right into the stack. And finally, we recognize that these exascale-class applications would require a complete rethinking of the underlying network fabric. With that in mind, we designed the Slingshot high-speed system interconnect with intelligent features such as adaptive routing and congestion management, so these diverse workloads can scale seamlessly. We view the Slingshot interconnect as really the glue of the exascale computing architectures. At Cray, the thing that gets us most excited to come to work every morning is that our systems, when placed in the hands of leading scientists and engineers, have an opportunity to change the world. I just can't think of a more likely opportunity for that to happen than with Aurora. On behalf of all of us at Cray, I want to congratulate you. I want to let you know that we are humbled to be a part of this partnership with Argonne, the Department of Energy, and Intel in an endeavor that will reshape the complexion of computational science to accelerate innovation at an unprecedented rate. It's going to be an amazing ride. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pete. I really appreciate the comments about the power of dreaming big and also about science that changes the world. Certainly want to thank everyone who was in attendance today and also thank those that joined us by live stream. We certainly appreciate your interest, your commitment, and your support to the laboratory and to Aurora. This is really an extraordinary collaboration, and it's occurring right here at Argonne National Laboratory and in Chicago. So we're very pleased. So thank you very much, really, everybody, for attending, participating. Thank you.